Good morning, everybody. I'm Henry Lee. This morning, I would like to show you how to use this magic class to practice Chinese calligraphy. Strokes. We have three kinds of magic class available at our website. There are some plain without anything, so you can paint or write anything. And we have one like this with a grid and stroke guide, or even complete characters, or complete calligraphy work by a famous calligrapher. You can trace with the stroke guide or character outlined characters. There's another one that with only the grids. So you can copy the calligraphy copybook. This does not require any ink, so it's very clean. I use it often in front of YouTube videos. I use a clean brush with just a little bit of water, so you can start to follow me without making mess on your desk. The first stroke is a dot. There's a little line in the center, not the center, inside the outline that indicates the movement of the brush tip. So the brush has a sharp tip, right? This should be kept at most time in the middle of the stroke, but sometimes it may be on the side, depends on the situation. So there's a arrow that indicates the movement of the brush tip. So in some case, you can see a curve at the end of it. So in this one, there's a, like this. But you don't want to write like this, right? So there's a, when you press the brush, you get what we call the muscle of fresh. So the bone is in the middle. And the brush tip should go all the way down and then up. Okay. If you do this, the brush tip didn't finish the bottom part. So you see this one, the brush tip goes all the way to the bottom and then turn back again. Too much water. If you write without the guide, there's like the grids. This dot usually like the first dot in the character eternity, it's like a 45-degree. Relatively along the 45-degree line. And this one is straight dot. The tip is exposed at the beginning. You rub it at the end. Let me do it. That's the beginning is not right. The angle is not right. So I need to lean to the left and then that's better. Okay. And this dot has a kick. This is how you do it. You this like a normal dot, but notice the tip goes back to the middle and then kick up. You're not supposed to fill in the blanks by little by little. You have to do the whole thing like in one stroke. Okay. This is a combination brush, stiff in the middle and soft outside. If you use this magic cloth, make sure the brush is clean, otherwise it will leave stains on it. So I would use a brand new brush without ink. Just keep that for this practice. Maybe you need to buy the same brush, one for clean water, one for ink. This is a short slant stroke, but start with a dot and then slant to the left. Dot. Lift the brush a little bit, adjust the directions. This is a similar dot, but I think the difference may be like lean the brush this way a little bit. So you kick, you turn, you see upside, or I don't know what exactly the difference is. Just longer, I think. With this one, it's about the same, I think. This one is a short dash. A dash should compose of three movements: at beginning and the end, and the middle. Not just like that. Okay, so there's a dot, kind of beginning, and lift the brush a little bit while you pull to the left, to the right, and then dot again and turn back. This is a long dash. It's not perfectly leveled like this, but it has normally lower on the left, and then balance that with a bigger dot on the right. This one is a vertical stroke. You hide the tip to start, and then expose the tip at the end. And, by keep the brush tip in the middle while you lift it. This stroke is similar but different ending. You start with a dot like 45 degrees and then turn straight down, and then kind of turn back instead of expose the tip, hide the tip at the end. Turns back. It's a little tricky. You can just put a dot like that. Yeah, just stop like instead of lifting the brush and stop in the air, you stop right and at the end with a dot. This one is a difficult one. The vertical brush with the hook. You have to turn to the left a little bit and then lift the brush backward, back up, and then kick to the left. This is a little too long, but sometimes you need you have a long hook. Some style, but most of the time you don't need to kick that much. Just have to put a stop in the air, like there, not too much. Yeah, that's good. Okay. This one is like the left side of the character eternity, you know, the famous character, right? This part, this left part is this. Two strokes, actually, but so this first stroke is like this one without a dot, but this actually starts another character, and then I mean another stroke at the turn, like a bending or forward. Bending is more like a like a curve. This folding, I will say. So it's like you start there and then you fold back, fold to the. So there's some repeat like this. Okay, this one is a slant stroke to the left. If you, okay, I didn't do well. If you lift the wrist and hold like this, you can just swift the brush, swing the brush, swing the wrist together. You don't have to move your hand. It's more difficult if you move your arm. You just keep your arms there and just use your wrist. If you want to do longer, you hold the brush higher. If so the wrist does the work. Like that. Maybe you cannot see my wrist. Let me do it here. Your wrist should do a circle or like a number 8. When you write a cursive style, you can do this practice. Okay, let's continue to. This is another slant stroke. And this one is a difficult one. It's called wave. So you have a rounded dot to hide the tip. It turns to the right. Gradually press, 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 and then lift while I would twist a little bit so the brush lift along the upper line. See, when I lift the brush, I also does this little, see, let me do it again, look carefully. Slant brush to the left, to the right, or press the stroke to the right, like the last stroke of eternity. The press. This is another, the same difficulty as the other one on the left. You press about 1/3, and then lift along one side, along the upper line. See, this is how it works. This is a curve hook kind of. Yeah, I did lots of this, like in the character yeah, the endings of a sentence, like this one. It's a longer, but it's similar, right? Remember? And this one is a folding stroke plus a hook. And this one is very common, used in the 宝盖, the head, the roof radical. A dot and then turn up and kick. Oh, I think you can see this one. Maybe you repeat here. This one, like a dash, right? And then, but there's a dot, a heavier dot, and then yeah. This stroke is a slant stroke, and then with a little hook turns up. Notice how I change directions by turning the brush like a little circle thing. So you can follow the arrows, like just do the tip. This is like a heart, character heart radical, and then you have a kick towards the left. It's a little tricky. So it goes all the way to the right, and then kick back and up. This is too flat, like that. This one, see this little circle thing I change when I change the direction. See, this is like that, and this one is a stroke combine vertical and horizontal. it's common in the character like this. Normally, you can close the button separately, like, but sometimes I do see the ancient calligrapher combine these two. Normally, these two could be separated. I haven't seen this one often, and this is a common one. You'll see some of these strokes in the. Let me just write this one here inside the video. You'll see these strokes in my next practice with ink. Okay. And in the previous 2 days, I did some study of a master calligraphy copybook, and what I did was first I traced the sample by putting this underneath it, with the light box, so I can do exactly like the original. And the next day I would do a copy with the original in front on the side, side by side, so it's more, you have more room, like not just tracing, right? Today I will try to copy from memory. So I would put this away, but before that I can take a picture in my mind. Just read it first, the content and the composition, the strokes. Try to memorize as much as you can as you do in preparing a quiz. So it's a quiz day, okay. 夫直者正也，笔者刀鞘也，墨者兵甲也。Okay, let me turn this. I'm not going to cheat, okay? Trust me. So from memory. Oh, I haven't got any ink. So to save time, I'll use some bottled ink. But you can still grind it. This is an old trick from my teacher. In calligraphy, you need to make the ink really thick or heavy, like a paste. So what I do is I grind the bottled ink, not just use clean water, but use bottled ink. I grind just a few seconds, 10 seconds. You make the ink into a more grand, kind of paste. I mix with some overnight ink as well, so you will have more grain in it. And it's heavier, so it will not bleed that much as the bottled. Bottled ink is okay in most cases, but I like to have more body, You can fold the paper into squares. Five characters, so I try to divide that into. I don't know how to do the 5. Let's forget about it. I'll just estimate. I think there's no horizontal line in the original, so it's okay. I try to find the paper weight. we use paperweight to hold the paper. You should have the complete character in your mind. Recognize those strokes we just practiced. I remember this one I just talked about. Yeah, this, some combination of strokes. This vertical dots, remember? This one, and I remember this one too. Oh, this one too. I did that. A short dash, yes. So we have used all those strokes in that practice class, right? Magic class. Wow, that's this one is too narrow, but I leave it just to let you know. This is rat tail. It's too narrow. You should not expose the tip like too long. It should be more rounded. But I concentrate on my composition. It's okay. I have difficulty with this ear. You'll remember some mistakes I made earlier if you followed me and try to avoid. This one, yeah. Oh, this stroke, I remember that. Right, and then make a circle, turn. I think I need to move lines closer so I can ignore those folding lines. The composition is very important to make the whole piece. So when you write from memory, you concentrate more on your own composition. The dot. knife. Yeah. Yes. Characters with more stroke, you want to write narrower. This should not. My brush gets thirsty. But this is the end of the line, so I don't want to reload it. And this is not an important character. It's just I try to show variation too. So it's dry. The use of brush. Now I also concerned with the use of ink, dry and wet. Um, so it will create rhythm in your work. Okay, let's see how it compares to the original. Okay, I missed this line. It's I didn't follow the horizontal lines. I thought it might be nice to vary the heights of these three characters here. Well, try to be a little more creative when you do this in the last stage. Eventually, you will be able to create your own style after this cover. Let me see if any comments there. Thank you. Yeah, this is oh yeah, the beginning was the introduction of the strokes for very beginners. Those strokes are not exactly Yan Zhenqing the style of this, but more or less they're the same, just like different Tai Chi, the yin and yang, the back and like left before you go right, always go up before you go down. It's a different style. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Maybe take a picture of this and post my online class. By the way, we have a video tutoring service now. I can do one-on-one class, so I can see you practice and give you personal help via either YouTube chat or Skype. I haven't used YouTube chat yet, but if you have a webcam or just use your phone, we can do Skype video call to. I will put the link in the video description. Have a great day. Bye-bye.